Do you ever wake up after binge and you just feel awful? You're like heavy, puffy, tired, swollen, you feel sick, and then comes the guilt and the shame, like, oh my God, why did I do this again? What is wrong with me? Why can I not stop myself? Every time I promise I'm going to do it and I just can't. You might even feel scared of your own body, scared of food at this point, but I promise you, you are not broken. It just means that your body is communicating with you. Binging is not just an emotional experience, it is a full body experience. Your brain, your hormones, your digestion, your nervous system, they all work in harmony. And it's not because you have failed, it's because your body is trying to protect you. So today I want to show you what's really happening inside your body when you binge and how to help heal that. If you're new here, hi, my name is Suzie. I'm a binge and emotional eating therapist. I help people transform their lives by ending binge and emotional eating once and for all, without willpower, without cutting foods, calorie counting, surgery, weight loss meds, and starting over every Monday. And together we work to give you your life back so that you can have the take it or leave it attitude that you have always wanted, and you can have the easiest, lightest relationship with food and your body that you literally have always dreamt of. If you find this video valuable, please hit the like and subscribe button. I post short form daily and long form every Monday, Wednesday, and I'm working up to Friday as well. It just massively helps this channel and it gets it out to the people that need it the most so that we can grow this community. So let's get into it. We're going to start with what a binge actually is, because binging is not just overeating a bit much. It's not just feeling a little bit too full after a Sunday roast. It's eating a large amount of food in a very short period of time with a feeling of being out of control. Many people describe it as being you're like almost awake but not in charge. Some people even black out and then they wake up kind of surrounded by all the food that they didn't realize that they had eaten. And that's because during a binge, your brain temporarily flips from logic to survival mode. It goes from the logical side to the emotional side of your brain. So imagine your brain as kind of like a smoke alarm. When it senses a threat, it doesn't just wait to check if it's like a real full-on house fire or whether it's just a bit of burnt toast. It's going to blast the alarm and say, we are not safe, we need to act now. And food becomes the fastest way to silence that alarm, essentially. So now let's talk about the brain during a binge. Inside the brain, you have a reward system, and it basically lights up and it releases dopamine and opioids that give that kind of short-lived rush of relief. And I know we've all experienced that, even if we don't have binge eating disorder or tendencies. At the same time, your amygdala, which is essentially your threat detector, is highly active, while the prefrontal cortex, which is like the rational part that makes calm decisions, that bit goes quiet. So the part of your brain that says, I shouldn't be doing this, we told ourselves we would never do this again, it literally goes offline, while the part that says, eat now, you'll feel better, that takes over. So this is not a lack of willpower, this is your nervous system choosing safety over sense. It chooses the emotional part over the logical part. And your body thinks that it is helping you survive, essentially. Now let's talk about what happens in your stomach and your gut. So after a binge, your stomach expands very quickly to fit the large amount of food in your stomach. It can actually expand up to 4 liters. And that's a rapid stretch. It really causes that bloating pain or that nausea that you often feel after a binge. After that, your stomach then releases acid and enzymes like gastrin, which can lead to that kind of heartburn and digestion feeling when we have eaten very quickly or not chewed our food properly. Meanwhile, your intestines are flooded with work. It slows your digestion and it causes other things like constipation, loose stools in the days after. If your binge includes a lot of sugar or refined carbs, your blood sugar spikes really quickly and then it crashes after. It's kind of like slamming on the accelerator and then hitting the brakes right after. You might experience feeling very tired, brain fog, almost like a hangover actually. A lot of people have described it that way. And that crash can make you feel hungry again really soon after, even though you've eaten thousands of calories. So your body is not confused, it's just trying to stabilize everything for you. So next, let's talk about the hormones. Think of ghrelin and leptin. We've spoken a bit about this in previous videos, but ghrelin is the hunger hormone and leptin is the satiation hormone that signals fullness. They're messengers, they're kind of like friends trying to text you at the same time, and you're trying to keep up with both sides. After years of restriction or dieting, their signals can get really mixed up. Ghrelin is the one that keeps yelling, I am starving, you need to give me food right now, whilst leptin is the one that's whispering to you, we've had enough, like, please calm down, like, stop, we don't need any more. And after a while, your body's not really sure what to listen to, essentially, so the signals can get really skewed up for you. On top of that, you've probably experienced chronic restriction, like a lot of us who have struggled with binge eating disorder. You're normal, don't worry. But the problem with chronic restriction is it slows your thyroid hormones and your metabolism down, because your body thinks it needs to conserve energy. So after a binge, when people say, I'll just diet again, I'll just start on Monday, the body panics and it clings even tighter to stored energy. It's not rebellion, don't think of it like that. It's your body and your mind are actually trying to protect you. Now let's zoom out to the nervous system. Binge eating is often a stress response. At first, eating activates dopamine and serotonin, and those are your body's like calm and comfort signals. That's why the first few bites feel so relieving. You know that feeling when you're like, oh, I just know I'm in a good place now. But when the binge ends, cortisol, which is your stress hormone, spikes, and it leaves you feeling really drained and anxious and inflamed. And remember, by the evening, your brain is tired hundreds of decisions throughout the day, if not thousands.
What to wear, what to say, what not to say, what to eat, what not to eat.
That mental depletion is called decision fatigue. So by the time 8 p.m. rolls around, your willpower is gone. I want you to think of your willpower kind of like a battery, in that it runs out. It is not just constantly charged to 100% all the time. It loses energy, and so you cannot rely on willpower for a long-term solution. It's only a short-term strategy. So when you find yourself reaching for that food, you are not a failure. It is not failure, it is fatigue. Now let's talk about why you keep reaching for food even when you're full. This is one of the hardest parts, when you know you are full, but you just cannot help yourself. You cannot stop. Your stomach is saying enough, 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 and you know it, but your brain is still chasing that completion. It still has the urge to eat, because fullness and satisfaction are two completely different things. Your stomach might be full, but your emotional brain still feels empty and unsafe. If you have restricted in the past, your body's learned not to trust fullness, because it remembers that famine came straight after that. Famine is in chronic starvation or chronic restriction. Meanwhile, binging gives you that numbing dopamine flood to the system, and it gives you that temporary sense of calm. So even when it hurts, the nervous system is saying, just one more bite, because safety is almost here. And with every bite, we're getting closer and closer to safety, essentially. The signals are skewed up. So you're not trying to punish yourself. You're trying to finish being soothed. Now let's talk about habit loops, cues, and environment. Over time, your brain wires these patterns into habit loops for you. So that could be something along the lines of dinner, sofa, snack, dopamine hit. Dinner, sofa, snack, dopamine hit. It becomes as automatic as when you're brushing your teeth in the morning and at night. And for a lot of people, you included, it might be that it's not actually always about hunger or emotion. It is the cue itself. It's the pattern and the habit that your body has found itself in the binging loop. If, for example, you're always eating in front of the TV, your brain will now link the sofa with food. Think about it a little bit like Pavlov's dog. He did this experiment where he rang a bell and then fed his dog. And then he kept doing it, and he noticed that every time he rang the bell, the saliva would draw, because he put the two and two together. It's the same with binge eating. So your brain will look for outside cues in your environment that it has seen happen over and over again. One thing you could do that's helped a lot of my clients is changing the cue. So for example, try sitting somewhere else other than if you do eat in front of the sofa. Try dimming the lights, try putting on music. You want to switch off all distractions so that you can focus on your food. What I would suggest is that you start eating at a dinner table with a knife and fork, especially if you are alone, not despite it. That might sound a little bit weird, because, well, surely you just eat at the dinner table with other people and your friends and family, but actually you are signaling to yourself that you deserve that respect. You are treating the meal like a ritual, the ritual that it is, and that can really help put some boundaries in around your eating and your eating schedule as well. For some people, there are other things like brushing your teeth right after a meal. However, it doesn't work for everyone. It's something that you'd have to try out for yourself. It can interrupt the autopilot setting, essentially. Think of it a little bit like moving the furniture around in your mind. You know, when you have a room and you're like, oh, I just need to change it up a bit. I need to like move things around. And then you have this fresh perspective in this fresh environment. Now let's look at short-term body reactions. There are several side effects to binging. So right after a binge, you might notice bloating, water retention, brain fog, puffy fingers even, or a puffy face. These are mostly temporary, okay? So don't panic. They will subside with time. When you eat more carbohydrates, for example, especially refined carbohydrates, more than usual, your body stores glycogen, and each gram holds water with it. That's why it's called carbohydrates. Your body's doing what it's been designed to do. The way that you clear it up is through consistency. Now let's look at the long-term impact on your body through binging. If binges happen frequently, your body can experience, it can develop inflammation, blood sugar swings, and hormonal imbalances. But nothing is irreversible. Once you reintroduce regular balanced meals, studies show the body normalizes hormones and digestion and metabolism within a few weeks. Your body wants you to heal. It doesn't want you to suffer. It's actually built to recover relatively quickly. So have faith and know that after time and consistency, things will return back to normal. Now let's look at what to do if you've binged recently and how to support yourself. Number one, you want to hydrate gently. Small sips of water or herbal teas are ideal. Next, you want to eat your next meal as planned. Don't restrict yourself just because you've had this binge. You want to take some gentle movement, some light movement. That might mean a walk for you. That really helps digestion and it eases your cortisol. After which you want to rest because your body is processing a lot physically and also you are processing a lot emotionally. So you need to be gentle with yourself. You can't hate yourself into healing. You need to hold that self-compassion and really take it seriously because that is the only way that you're going to move forward. Then you want to start again with breakfast. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you're still feeling awful after the binge the night before, it teaches your body safety and regulation and consistency. Every time you choose nourishment over punishment, you're teaching your body that we're safe now. Okay, we've got this. Let's now talk about the self-punishment loop that happens. Please remember that shame is gasoline for the binge restrict cycle. You don't need to punish yourself into control. You need to rebuild trust with food and with your body. Self-compassion is not soft or weakness, it is science. Studies show that it directly reduces binge frequency. I want you to remember that even if you binge tomorrow, it does not erase your progress, okay? Think about it like the flat tire analogy if you haven't heard this already. You're on a road trip, you're halfway there, and you get a flat tire. What do? The logical thing would obviously be to get out and change the flat tire, whether you can do that yourself or you get someone to help you. What we tend to do as binge eaters is we get out and we're so frustrated, we slash all the other 3 tires just so we can hitchhike back to the starting line to start the journey all over again. I repeat, if you binge tomorrow, or after you've done all the things that I've said, it does not erase your progress. In fact, every time that you pause and you reflect and you eat with awareness, your brain is rewiring those old pathways. Because recovery is not about perfection, it is about repetition. It is nourishment, not punishment. It's kind of like teaching a child to feel safe again. The calm builds slowly, one consistent movement at a time. So what really happens to your body when you binge eat? Well, it adapts. God. It protects, it communicates. The next time it happens, instead of saying, what's wrong with me? I can't believe I did this again. I have no willpower. Try asking yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? What is my mind trying to tell me? Where am I feeling hurt? Because that is the quickest, most surefire way to get to the root of the issue and then start your healing. If you are finally ready to end the emotional eating and stop the binge restrict cycle and rebuild trust with your body again, you can find your free masterclass. It is at esthetherapy.com/free masterclass. I'll put the link here and I'll also put it in the description box for you as well so you can find that easily. You can find more free resources at esthetherapy.com, including my blog on how to start your journey to food freedom and also giving you lots of tips and tricks on how to maintain that. And you can book a free, no obligation consultation call with me at calendly.com/esthetherapy. You have nothing to lose. It is a free call at the end of the day. You, again, don't need to, there's no obligation to sign up to anything. It's just an opportunity to establish where you are, where your goals are and how we can move forward and help you achieve those goals. So lastly, please remember that your body is not your enemy, okay? It is your ally. It's just waiting for safety and regulation. And safety can be rebuilt, okay? One meal at a time and with one kind thought at a time, and through things like one-to-one therapy. The aim with hypnotherapy is to get you in and out as quickly as possible, to heal the wounds for you so that you can move on with your life as quickly as possible. We don't want to keep you in therapy for too long. If you want to go to talking therapy, great, amazing, love talking therapy. With hypnotherapy, the point is we want to get to the root, we want to fix it for you, we want to get rid of that emotional eating and binge eating once and for all, sometimes in as little as one session. You heard that right. I've had many, many clients where we have done it in one session. If you're truly ready to let go and start your new life, then go ahead and book a one-to-one call. And remember, if you found this video valuable, please hit the like and subscribe button. Please share it with anyone that you think could benefit from it. We want to grow this community organically and get this content out to the people that need it the most. I post longer videos just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and soon to be Friday. So thank you so much again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.